Good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Tina Hitchcock. Please rise for the presentation of colors by the Putnam County Fire Rescue Honor Guard and remain standing for the national anthem. I'd like to introduce Chaplain John Allender for the invocation.
Good afternoon. You can be seated. I'm John Allender. I'm a lieutenant assigned to Engine 23, my shoulder over heels, and also have the honor of being a chaplain of our service. I started volunteering at Station 23 in 2008 and have been a career and volunteer fireman since 2009. I'd like to take this time to say, welcome to the best service around. You all have accepted a job into a great career, in my opinion, the greatest career. You are doing the greater good by signing up to selflessly serve others in our community. In the Bible, it is written in Philippians 2:3, do nothing out of selfish ambition or conceit, but considers others as more important than yourselves. You have taken the first step by signing up for this career. I'd like to tell you a story about a 10-year-old boy. This boy had a great life and was happy as he could be living on a family farm in this community. One evening, while he was at karate lessons, his house caught fire. Upon his arrival home, his house was still being overhauled by the volunteer personnel that he knew from his community. His house was considered a total loss, and he was devastated. The following day, he and his parents went through the rubble and salvaged many things that he still holds dear. A rifle that was passed from his granddad to his dad was now his. A picture of his late grandmother that hung on the wall somehow had been saved, and there were many other keepsakes that were found that day. That little boy was me. The job we have is important, and the service we provide is needed and appreciated, and I can tell you that firsthand. Later in life, a friend of mine, honestly more like a brother, told me that Putnam County was starting a paid fire service and he was going to fire school. He thought I'd be a great fireman and encouraged me to go to fire school with him. I will forever be thankful to my friend, Nat Gill. He encouraged me. He encouraged me to take on this new challenge. It has been great and difficult, but always worth it. A little later in life, my grandparents had health issues, and I knew it was a matter of time before paramedics and EMTs alike would know their address. My grandmother was now calling on the service she had helped start when she was a commissioner. I knew that my grandfather, and later my grandmother, would get the great care every individual in our community gets when they call 911, and I wasn't disappointed. This job matters, and again, it mattered to me. I've found a career that I love, a workplace full of people that have invested in me over the last 14 years. I tell you all this to make my point that you are part of something special. You are now part of the family. Putnam County Fire Rescue is a growing fire service, and it's also a fire service that hasn't forgotten what makes it great, and that's the people that answer the calls every day. Putnam County Fire Rescue hasn't forgotten the health and well-being of its employees and has a very progressive mental health program. In the last year, we have started a mental health team that responds to bad calls and supports brothers and sisters that are struggling with not only job-related stressors, but the stress daily life can bring. We have a lot of support already in place that many larger departments don't have, and we're adding more all the time. I would like to take a second and recognize the leadership we have that has made this ever-present need a top priority. Would you join me in a round of applause for our chiefs, county admin, and our county commission that has made a progressive mental wellness program a priority. Now I'd like to take a minute to address the families before my time's finished tonight. We as a mental health team do our best to interact on a daily basis with as many people as possible, but you know them best. If your responder is acting differently or in need of any kind of support, please get a hold of me or someone on the mental health team as soon as possible. If you serve on the mental health team at this time, would you please stand up? You may be seated. We have many avenues in place, and we're adding more all the time. We will get your loved one help, so please reach out. We will be around after the ceremony with contact information for those who wish to have it. Now you know some of my background and why this career is so important to me. Your story begins after you take your oath today. You will be the future leadership of this department, so take the task set before you seriously. There are 10-year-old kids in karate gis and adults watching their loved ones as health fails, depending on you to show up and give your best every shift. We can rise to the challenges in our future and come out on top if we all do our best and work together as a team. With all that, I would like to say a prayer over this class before I turn the mic over to the shortest person in the room, Deputy County Administrator Grimes. Bow your heads. Lord, I pray you watch over the responders and their families present here today as they carry out your call to put others first. I pray for wisdom and direction with difficult situations. I pray that you would watch over every challenging scene. I also ask that you watch over their minds, thoughts, and actions as they see and hear things that are hard to forget. I pray peace over every person here tonight, and it's in Christ's name I pray. Amen. Mr. Grimes.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's pinning ceremony for the C-Shift folks. That honor guard is amazing. Our chaplain services are becoming amazing. They got amazing 2 leaders or 3 leaders that are leading that program. We didn't have those programs a year and a half ago, and I think they were on display tonight, and I think they did a magnificent job. I'd like to thank John and Nat for stepping out of the ordinary. Sometimes it's a little difficult to show your faith, especially around your peers, and they do a phenomenal job day in and day out. It was been a priority. It was a priority of ours. We had a couple people reach out to us and ask us if we could start it, and you cannot shut a dream like that down. And these guys really created a dream and are really carrying it out, and they're doing a phenomenal job for our service, and it will continue into the future. With that being said, I'm here to tell you welcome to today and to tell you thank you. Thank you to everybody here that's a family member of our heroes. If they're sitting here tonight in a white shirt or a blue shirt, if they're retired, they're our heroes. These guys and ladies do things day in and day out that most of us couldn't even imagine or dream. And they should be commended for that, and they do a fabulous job every single day. Sometimes these things are like reunions. You see people that you haven't seen for a long time, and they're truly heroes. As I grew up, maybe a little bit before John in the fire service, I can remember riding to calls with my dad as a young volunteer years and years and years ago. I grew up in the volunteer service, seeing people like retired Chief Chad Hutchinson that's here, Jeff and Joe Guthrie. Started my career, Fire Marshal Mark Lenedy just promoted to Fire Marshal. So as you sit here to these things, you're going to continue to see these people. They're not all going to be here, but you're going to see each other passing and crossing again. And it's just a marvelous thing to see each and every one of you here. And the reason I say thank you is for letting us borrow your family members, because they're going to miss days that they should be at home. They're going to miss kids' birthday parties. They're going to miss Christmas. They're going to miss Thanksgiving. Most people don't sign up for that type of job. It takes a very, very special individual. And they're all sitting in this room tonight. They're my heroes. I love each and every single one of them. I couldn't find a better crew. I left a fantastic crew from where I came from, but I've got another fantastic crew right with them. I couldn't imagine doing this job without each and every one of you. You do a fabulous job day in and day out. And I would just like to once again say welcome. Thank you for everything you guys do from the bottom of my heart. You are truly my heroes. We're going to work day in and day out for you. You're my priority, and I've tried to push that to the county administrator. Sometimes he's not happy with me, but that's okay. That's my job. But we're going to keep you guys at the front of our priority list, and we're going to move this system into the future. And I think it's on a very great start. Thank you, guys. And I guess I need to introduce Chief Richard back. He's our fire rescue chief.
Thank you. I'm not going to give you an emotional speech like Director Grimes just did, but I'd like to welcome everybody. I just want to give you all some history of Putnam County Fire Rescue, what we know today as Putnam County Fire Rescue. I personally started in the volunteer fire service in 1986 with a lack of volunteer fire department. I grew to love it. I found it to be a calling more than a job. I would do everything I could to get out of my permanent paying job to go volunteer to run calls when there was big incidents going on. There's plenty of people in this audience. Retired Chief Hutchison was the same way. If there was anything major, he was always there. I don't know where he came from, but somehow he was there. So that's the history of me. The history of the department is in 2009, the County Board of Commissioners decided to start a transport rescue service. Before that, it was run by the Palatka Fire Department, and a Clayton Frank Funeral Home out of Crescent City ran our transports. For the next, one more thing about that. This department was started with 30 members. It was only 30 people worked 3 shifts. That's 10 people per shift. In 2007 is when we put on our first 2-man, 5-day-a-week engines. And we did that to supplement the volunteers because everybody was working and couldn't get off and couldn't beg to get off like I used to when I was a volunteer. So we ran that 2 engines out of East Palatka and Satsuma, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. That was the protection other than the volunteer fire service for Putnam County. In 2017, Putnam County put on its first career engine in Satsuma. Lieutenant Allender, Lieutenant Gill. That was a very busy truck, wasn't it? Because y'all ran everything from the Memorial Bridge to the Volusia County line after 8 p.m. In 2021, so from 2017, we had those 2 trucks. 2021, we put on 1 more career engine, which was the East Palatka truck, went to 24 hours, and we put on a tanker and a quick response squad. That was in January. June of 2021, we put the rest of our career staff on. I believe we hired 25 people at that time. Today, Putnam County employs 108 firefighters. We have 6 career engines, 1 quick response squad, 3 supervisors on the road, and 8 ambulances to cover 800 square miles of county. I felt the need to pin everybody, every member. Some of you have been pinned before, some of you haven't. But this was the last year that we could finally get the last state department to recognize us as Putnam County Fire Rescue. We have changed our badge this year. We've kind of changed the look of the department. It was all started by our former chief. I just continued what he had started. I hope that everybody in this room can leave a positive influence on Putnam County. Whether you live here or you drive here to work, what y'all do every day leaves a positive attitude on the street to the citizens that we're protecting, to the people that are in need. When we see people, they're at their worst. So, with that being said, I'm going to introduce Chief Hitchcock. Thank y'all.
In August of 2007, I came to Putnam County EMS as a firefighter paramedic. I joined with no prior EMS knowledge other than the minimum standard taught in school. I didn't grow up around the fire service, nor was I a volunteer in my younger years like some of the other gentlemen on the stage. I was inexperienced, to say the least. I found myself among people that had years and years of real-world experience. Some of those men and women sit amongst you in this auditorium tonight. They were quick to let me know just how little I actually knew from my time in school, but were dedicated to making sure I had every tool necessary to have a successful career. During the first few years, I dealt with many of the same obstacles you all are facing or will face in the first few years of your career. I wanted to be great at my job, and I didn't want to let my officers down, but I was young, hard-headed, and learned some difficult lessons along the way. I worked hard, stayed focused on myself, and where I saw my career leading, I made uncomfortable moves to get myself out of my comfort zone and gain experience. It's important to understand there will be challenging moments, but it's how you choose to handle those moments that'll sculpt the future of your career within the fire service. Those that took time to mentor me along the way all had one key thing in common: pride. Pride in themselves, pride in their accomplishments, pride in helping others, pride in their station, and pride in their department. I believe most of us understand what pride is. However, I like the way that Rick Lasky, the author of Pride and Ownership, explained it. He said, "Pride is a personal commitment. It is an attitude that separates excellence from mediocrity. It is that ingredient which inspires us not to get ahead of others, but rather get ahead of ourselves." Pride is reflected in many ways. Pride is reflected by how you take care of yourself, both mentally and physically, your personal and professional accomplishments, the extra attention given to assuring your uniform, apparatus, and station are in tip-top condition, and how you treat others in everyday life as well as emergency situations. Take the time to surround yourself with people who love the job as much as you do and learn from them. No matter what you do or where you go in this career, remember to take pride in what you do because the little things do matter. This is absolutely the best job in the world, and I expect each of you to do your part to leave it better than you found it. Thanks for choosing PCFR, and I'm truly honored you've decided to call this home.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to say, hey, today is your day. And thank you for stepping up to serve our community, the community of Putnam County Fire Rescue. I'm sure you're ready to receive your badges, but first I would like to read a couple poems that you might find interesting. God said I needed someone who can drive trucks, pull hose, man tools, lift heavy equipment in excess of heat, meet the devil face to face, and not be frightened. I'll heed their safety so that they can return home unharmed to their family who would be lost without them, so God made a firefighter. God had someone willing to work holidays, weekends, someone willing to miss her child's or his child's first step or first words, grandma's birthday party, or the biggest game of the year, in order to keep the community protected. All with little sleep, so God made firefighters and paramedics. Firefighting has a rich history, which is reflected in the firefighter badge. Badge pinning is a proud tradition within the department and every department, signifying the introduction of the department members to their new duties and welcoming to the new department. Tradition has been a strong part of the American Fire Service since the time of Benjamin Franklin. But the roots of our service go back hundreds of years before Franklin formed the first organized fire department that served Philadelphia and became the framework of the volunteers and now career fire departments across our country. Look at where we are as firefighters. We are the only service in the United States of America authorized to enter a home, business, or property without a search warrant, to fight a fire, and to protect the common good of all of our population. Stop and think about that. In the ongoing discussions and personal privacies and debated throughout the world, there is a long-established laws in our country that firefighters can enter a property, whether the owner is present or not, for the purpose of extinguishing that fire that, if left unchecked, would be devastating and harmful to others in the neighborhood. By our first and very nature as firefighters and paramedics, residents still invite us into their homes during their worst day of their lives, knowing that we are there to make things better. The public trust is tremendous responsibility and one rarely afforded to anyone, including firefighters in other countries. It's any wonder that society holds us to a higher standard of conduct. And when one of us fails, that public trust through wrongdoing or misbehavior that all of us suffer from that breach of trust. So every time you pin on your badge, whether to be sworn in as a newest firefighter or a veteran firefighter, officer or chief reporting to work, remember that trust it represents and the higher code of conduct we must hold. I hope, for one, that the tradition of public trust that afforded every day in each one of us will never, ever be extinguished. And thank you. And at this time, I would like for us to pin Deputy Chief Tina Hitchcock.
All right, now we're going to start with the important people, right? Get the right paper here. All right, first off, Bryce Chansey. Walter Welsh. Watch your head. David Bosselman. Ariana Cordero. Michael Ivy. Stephen Barker. Colby Fleming. Stephen Motley. Derek Bennett. Monica Weaver. Jaylee Vineyard. Madison Yackel. Connor Vineyard. Zachary Fisher. Mark McCullough. Jennifer Burris. Ryan Every. Amanda Farmer. Randall Atkins. Matthew Moriarty. Jason Black. Captain Catherine Harper. Lieutenant Colleen Underwood. Lieutenant Travis Minor. Lieutenant Jeremy Ray. Lieutenant Nat Gill. Battalion Chief Paul Flato. Lastly, Captain Jeffrey Guthrie. I'd like for all of you to please rise. Sorry, just the uniform people. My bad. Sorry, guys. If you guys will make your way back to the stage for the oath. I'd like to introduce Administrator Terry Suggs to present the firefighter's oath and the closing remarks.
Good evening, everybody. What a absolute wonderful tribute here tonight. It is my absolute distinct honor to give the firefighters' oath of office this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would do me the honor of raising your right hand and repeating after me. I do hereby declare that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Florida, and the policy set forth by the Putnam County Board of County Commissioners and the Putnam County Fire Rescue. As a member of the Putnam County Fire Rescue, my fundamental duty is to be dedicated to the highest standards of professionalism in public safety and life-saving services, with a commitment to serve, ability to perform, and the courage to act. I recognize the badge bestowed upon me today is a symbol of trust. I will be faithful and true to the core values of my department and the ethics of fire service. I will execute my duties to the best of my abilities. Congratulations. Please, everyone, join me in congratulating our men and women of the Putnam County Fire Rescue. Thank you, folks. Y'all may return to your seats. Thank you. Before I address our brave men and women down here, there's a couple things I'd like to take care of first. I want to thank Ms. Becky Howe and Ms. Guy Holder for making all this possible tonight. Thank you, ladies, very much. And as you know, last week, Chairman Turner was here to give the oath of office. Unfortunately, Mr. Turner at the very late hour this evening had a family issue that he had to take care of, and he passes his regrets on and just wants to congratulate each and every one of you. Thank you. As also, I want to take this privileged time to introduce Commissioner Leota Wilkinson, who came tonight as well. So, Commissioner, thank you. For closing comments, I'm proud to be the one to be able to do this tonight, and I thank Chief Grimes and his staff for allowing me to do this. You know, this is a very, very big honor, not only for me, but for our staff, to see so many people here tonight, to see so many firefighters being pinned here tonight, firefighter rescue folks being pinned here tonight. You know, as we heard earlier, the growth of this department has been phenomenal, and I am just proud as I can be to be just a very small part of that. That comes from the hard work of your administration, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about your fire rescue folks, and I'm talking about your Board of County Commissioners. They're the ones who made all this possible. So one more time, let's give them a hand, please. Thank you, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, each of you step into a revered role of first responder. This is not simply a profession. It is a true calling to defend what is the most primal in every intelligent being, and that is to protect and preserve life. You all follow the brave men and women that have the courage to go where most can't fathom to go. You will forever be part of a fraternal relationship with the heroes of 9/11. You will go where and when called to serve. You protect public buildings and private homes. You save and sustain lives. And sometimes many of you will find that you are the last warm touch of a dying person. So be proud. Have courage. Protect one another, and know you are respected, you are supported, and you're appreciated by your community. Now, in closing, on behalf of the Putnam County Administration and the Board of County Commissioners, I want to personally say thank you to each of you brave men and women that are being recognized here tonight, and to everyone that is here in support of these folks tonight. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure the bottom of their hearts. Again, thank you. So as we close, may God bless each and every one of you, all of us, and to all of you folks, good night.
That concludes our pinning ceremony. Feel free to take pictures, mingle. Thank you, guys.